everyone. So you've just had yourself a little sneak peek there. I've got to put my happy face on. So it's not a particularly happy face, you know, but you know, things are what things are. And right, we'll run into the why it's not a happy face and in a minute, and we'll give you a quick run through. This is our new project. Well, it's not our new project, it's actually a project that we started some time ago, but we've now got it back and we can now carry on with it. We've had all the bits well, for some time, all ready to rock and roll, all ready to go, but due to complications and things, you know, here we are. Anyway, so as you might have noticed, that's right, it's a very sorry for itself Rover Mini Cabriolet. We've owned this car, well, Tracy's owned this car since 2004. She bought it in 2004. She followed us to Silverstone in it when we were racing, and it was one of the birthday festivals at Silverstone, so it was a big show, and the car was used on the circuit as a course car through the whole event, which was brilliant. And Tracy got to take the car on the circuit, obviously, and got to take it out in a cavalcade. Went round after the races in it, went round with the marshals in it, and we did the same again at the next one at a Brands Racing Festival. The cabbie went down and the car was used again on circuit as a course car. Oh, I'm trying not to kick it over, don't need any more work. So anyway, we used it for a good few years, and it got to a point basically where it needed a bit of a restore. It had some wings put on, they weren't overly well put on, so we took it off the road. Then we started the restoration. As you see, we cut the scuttle off, we took the front end off, and then it became a massive restoration. We did work on this that I don't think anyone's had to do or ever done on a Mini Cabriolet. We replaced the floor. We found parts unknown, just reinforcement sections which were put in that are totally hidden, so obviously we had to be very careful how the car was deconstructed when we were restoring it, putting a new boot floor in. We put new rear heel board in, full floor with the sills and all the out hangers and everything. We had new reinforcement section in the sills, custom made for us by a fabrication company. It was a hell of a job. We had to space frame the inside of the car because the only thing, when we did the floors, the only thing that was left holding the back end of the car to the front end of the car was the doorstep. There was no sills, no inner sills, no floor, so as you can imagine, with no reinforcement, and the car would just fold in half, with barely a millimetre of steel plate supporting the weight of it. So we had to build in a space frame type of construction, just triangulate everywhere where we could take stress points from and load carrying points from, to ensure that the car would stay, once every reinforcement was took out of it, in the same position. So that's what we did. Well, that's what I did. As you can see, we've still got the remains of them in the car. So this isn't going to be what we thought it was when this project come back today. Like I say, we were hoping to pick this up, get this picked up today, and the understanding was this work that I'd carried out was still in the same condition, and it would be kept in the same condition when I come pick the car up, as it was when I finished it, obviously. So we put brand new floors in, cross members, strengtheners, like I say, we put everything brand new in, all heritage parts of course. We want to keep the car fully genuine. boot floored a lot. As imagine, that was a hell of a lot of work. Now something's happened when the guy who was stored it, and he's dropped a bit of a massive one, really, and it is a bit of a massive one. He somehow managed to let the car get in there, and I'll show you. Let's have a look, see how bad this is. So this was a brand new heritage floor, the cross member, heel board, put new plates in, you know, and these reinforcement sections here were all brand new and bespoke, made at a local manufacturers. So we've done it all. Replaced the brackets exactly where they were, because we took them straight off the old sections. We kept the old sections and then put them on exactly how they were, even with the slight angling on them. Why there's a slight angling on them, we don't know, but we put them in exactly spot on. All the captive nuts fitted, everything done, closing plates, the A and B posts closed back up, everything ready to go. So we were moving on to the next section of the car, and then it got halted through no fault of our own, and then the car got moved, and like I say, as we understood, it was in dry storage, but as you can see, it's not been very dry. You can see where the rain's actually been hitting the rust and then spraying up onto the door. So thankfully this isn't nothing that we can't redo again, but obviously we're a bit gutted. Now the person who stored it, he said he's going to foot up for the parts, which is brilliant. Obviously it hurts to redo the labour again, but you know, I suppose our loss is your gain, so you'll get to see it all this being redone and restored, new sections made, new floor put back in. We'll have to take measurements obviously for all the bracketry and where the bracketry will go. But yeah, it's going to be a much bigger project than we thought it was going to be when it come back. We thought we were just on to outer panels. As you can see, the doors, lovely. So considering this car's had no boot floor or sills at any point, you know, it's all lovely and straight. Like I say, I spent so much time putting the floor in and getting everything right. Now we're going to have to do it all again. So obviously we've got this inner wing wasn't rotten or, well, messed up like this. This inner wing was in good condition. I was saving this inner wing, but now I was just going to put a flitch in down here. Now we're going to have to put a full new inner wing on this side. I'll take it around the front. Obviously we're going to have a good clean up in there, but there's thankfully the bulkhead and everything is good, although this support panel here down the bottom, I'm going to have to unpick it from the cross member. I've checked in the back of the cross member and it doesn't appear to be broken through in there, thankfully, because that would have been too much. That obviously you'd been able to do it, but you know, it's a hell of a lot of work taking these bulkheads out. And as we don't have a jig and it'll be a space frame thing, I'll start losing points of alignment, which obviously we don't really want to do. So we'll go around to this side, as you know, Rover Cabriolet. So this is your reinforcement post which runs up your A pillar, and it's a piece of steel plate, a couple of mil thick around here, and that's what they do, they just weld it and then weld that to the steel plate, and that's your stiffener, stop any scuttle shake. Seems to work quite well, but obviously absolute nightmare to get off when you want to replace a section panel, which obviously they're not going to plan that into building these cars. So this side we'll just be putting a flitch in properly. We'll see we'll see on this side. Anyway, like I said, it's, everything was done. So we have heritage sills. Obviously you can still see the stickers on them. You can see a lot of surface rust on the sills. I don't know what the sills will look like on the inside, they're probably worse than they are on the outside. Down at the back floorboard. Oh yeah, we're quite crusty around there, you know. And the boot floor as well, where it runs through on a seat squab. You can see it's absolutely peppered with holes, and I haven't hit this with a grinder, so you know if you can see holes through it before you hit it with a grinder, it's just going to end up being a huge hole. So it'll be a new boot floor. All this lot is back out again. So we'll be looking at the ground when all this lot's out. On the sides of that hole there. See, it was all brand new panels this. But hey ho, it is what it is, and half the boot floor is good, but it's had a bit of a wallop in the battery box. Thankfully the cabbie itself is, and the header rail and you know what makes it the Cabriolet is still all intact, all the doors are good. Like saying, we still have all the panels which belong to the car to make it the cabbie, so it is still a full complete car. That one rolls down. On this side, the toe boards, heel board, sorry, is that rotten? I say this is brand new, this. It was all brand new before it was stored. Yeah, it's hole in the back floor there. I can see right the way down there, you can see daylight coming through. It's quite heavily corroded. You can see the spot wells which hold inner reinforcement on there, but there's the sills. You see, still got the stickers on them. You can see how crusty it is there. So yeah, the sills are shot, the floor's shot. The inner sills that we put in are absolutely, I don't know how bad they look to you from there, but they're as bad as they look, trust me. Well, here's a cross member, the whole cross member. And we can take scales off it, you know that that box section's had it. I say this was all new. I say this one's just straight through. So yeah, I think we can all agree we couldn't have our work cut out on this one, but it will get done. It's our new project, our old new project. Yeah, it will get done. It's Tracy's car, so you know it'll get done at any price. Let's hope it doesn't cost us a race car. But yeah, it will get done. We've got all the parts for this car. We've already got a new Heritage front end, we've got a brand new Heritage subframe for it. The roof was recently replaced, so the roof's more or less brand new. Obviously we've got the bonnet, boots all in good condition, we've got the engine, we have all the interior, all the trim. It's all in brilliant condition. We've got the body kit, obviously we've got everything that is this car. We've also, the wheels have already been blasted and powder coated. They were done a few years ago, a good few years ago, like when we were originally hoping to be ploughing on with this, they were done, but then they've had to be packed away, but they've been packed away real carefully. We've packed them away ourselves, and we know they're in perfect condition, the same condition they were when they come back from the wheel shop. So yeah, so our next job on this, we've got it here, we've got it in the garage, we've got it on my, god damn, is that safe? I don't know about that spit. It does the job, it'll be alright, hopefully, keep our fingers crossed for that. So we'll have to get the space frame back in, we'll have to recreate this tubular space frame to take the strength of the shelter, you know, be its chassis basically. So we'll recreate that space frame and then we'll have to start cutting out again. We'll get drawings and measurements of where all the seat bracketry goes. Obviously measurements for seat bracketry which go onto our inners. We've also got seat belt mounting locations front and rear, so make sure we've got drawings with all the measurements on for these. So they'll all have to be recreated obviously. Yeah, everything cut out back to just the door steps holding the front and rear. Boot floor out, and then start putting it all back in again. And once we get it all back in, we can, we'll be back to where we were hoping we would be today. So yeah, we're hoping, and we thought this was quite a realistic time scale to be ready for the next sim over here. But well, it's fingers crossed now. Hopefully we can get these floors and that all done pretty quickly, if we can get on and get the shell more or less ready before the next racing season starts. Fingers crossed we can do that. And then we'll be looking in good fettle for shells ready to start prepping for bodywork and going to paint. Like I say, we have just about all the other parts there. We will be doing an engine rebuild. Obviously it's the SPI engine. It's done well to start the race car, to be fair. At times Tracy's been tempted, but you know, it's a numbers matching engine to this car, so the last thing I'd want to do is take the engine away from this car. So we've got that to rebuild. Could probably put it back in and run it again as is, but I don't see the point. We might as well rebuild it, give it a refresh. I don't think we'll be doing anything. I've toyed with doing the head maybe, but then I'm like, we'll just stick with standard valve guides. Rings, I don't know whether to overbore or get it sleeved, keep it at 1275, you know, for originality. I don't know what piston availability is like for the standard pistons or the quality. So there's things we were looking at. So the engine, we don't know. We may go a very slight mild tune on it, but nothing special, nothing to detract away from it really. Obviously the gearbox a rebuild, just get the synchros changed and everything, just all the by stuff, new bearings, just make sure it's proper. Aluminium stuff vapor blasted and that. We'd like to do it as a bit of, you know, whether we'll get it to a concourse condition, but as near as concourse as we can. Yeah, can't see why we can't really. Obviously I'll be painting it myself and doing everything on it myself, so if anything goes wrong there's only me to blame. Anyway, so this is our project. I'll stop calling it the new project because then I'll just have to say our new old project. The Rover Mini Cabriolet. Right guys, so we'll call it a vid. We'll see you next time, whether I'll be putting tubes in, whether I'll be grinding, whether I haven't got a clue what I'll be doing. Like I say, we're all a bit shell shocked today. Car was coming back, we were so excited that the car was coming back. get back on with it and have the cabbie back. It's obviously it's Tracy's pride and joy, you know, and I absolutely love the car. It's a gorgeous little car, but then it comes back and it's in, you know, the condition that it's in. All that happiness sort of dissolved into a load of ferrous oxide. But hey, like I say, it is what it is. It will get done. It'll be a nice sparkling gleaming Rover Mini Cabriolet again, and we'll all be happy as pigs in mud. Right guys, you all take it easy. See you later. Bye.